So as I said in my last video, we were probably going to have some sort of sell-off today. Nothing too aggressive, but still pretty big, but not too aggressive in the context we're in. Not out of the ordinary today. You know, when you have 3 consecutive big days, you're going to have a sell-off day after that. We take the elevator on the way down and the stairs on the way up. So, yeah, we had a massive bull run, but as I said yesterday, don't feel like you missed out. It's not like we're not going to retest these lows and kind of stay at this level for a little bit. The cases are rising pretty quickly. You know, coronavirus is still a thing. It's not like that was going to disappear in a second. There are a lot of cases still happening in the United States. Italy's starting to pick up again. Spain's starting to pick up again. So it's a pretty ugly situation still. Not the ugliest. You know, people are staying home. It's not a massive outbreak that we can't track. Things are going to probably turn better in the United States than Italy and Spain, it looks like. So 2 things are happening in the United States that are good. On the economic, fiscal policy, monetary policy side, just passed a massive $2 billion stimulus. That's going to help a lot. On the health side, which is the more important side, this is a health issue, fundamentally a health issue, not an economic issue. The economic fundamentals remain strong. We just kind of need a stimulus package to make sure people have money because we're turning off the economy to deal with the health issue. We're testing, and we're testing aggressively. That's why our curve is so sharp because, you know, people were starting to get the virus, was starting to spread, but we didn't have the tests. We didn't know who had it. Now we're testing like crazy, probably better than any other country has up till this point. We've got millions of tests, and we made those millions of tests in a matter of a week and shipped them out. So all these people saying President Trump is having millions of people die. They're ridiculous. They're absolutely ridiculous. They're just looking for something to blame. They have no idea what they're talking about. They don't realize how efficiently President Trump has handled this. Closing the border off quickly, getting millions. Like just think about the sheer size of millions of vaccines and the amount of chemical work that has to go into that, the actual production of those vaccines, all that. Got it done in maybe a week and a half. Very quickly from when we had to order it. Sure, it was, obviously we should have had millions of vaccines done before, but that's, first of all, expensive as fuck. Second, we didn't know we were going to have a massive outbreak here. We thought it was going to be limited to China. China closed it down pretty quick. China did a very good job. They had 80,000 cases. They were the bulk of everything until all of a sudden, massive outbreak in Italy and South Korea. And guess what? South Korea got it down very quick. Very, very quick, and they rose very, very quick. They had a massive spike and a massive close-off. How? Drive-through testing and aggressive testing. Lockdown testing. That's what every country's got to do, but countries like Italy aren't doing that. Countries like Spain aren't doing that. They don't have the testing capabilities. They're very slow, almost socialist countries that don't have the resources to make that happen. So they're seeing issues. They can't make ventilators. Meanwhile, here we've got GM, Tesla, Ford, every single manufacturer is technically, like Nike's got factories here, maybe, hopefully, capable of making ventilators. We're going to have everything we need in this country. We have everything we need. We've got the resources, everything we need. Our food supply chains are fantastic. They're good there. We're going to deal with this in the United States, and it's going to be dealt with rather quickly. So, yes, the cases are exploding, but know that the cases are exploding because we're testing so aggressively and not because the virus is spreading so fast that we can't contain it. So, yeah, we're doubling every 3 days, it looks like. It's a lot of cases, but people are staying home, and we're testing well, and our hospitals are not at capacity yet. And when they are, we're building new hospitals at what seems to be a pretty good rate. Obviously, there's a point at which, there's kind of like a next stage that could be bad, and we'll reevaluate then. The world is changing every second. So, could get bad. I don't think that's going to be the case because we do have ventilators. We do have tests. We know who's got it. 80% of people are able to recover at home. 1% death rate. So, on the facts, things don't look catastrophic. So, it's a health crisis. It's not a financial crisis. And the health situation, while it's, not ideal, it's 100,000 cases here in the United States. It's like a chunk of people, if you ask me. It's dealable. And Governor Cuomo, listen to this. Governor Cuomo last week was saying it's gonna be 3 to 4 months, 3 to 4 months, whatever. It's gonna be terrible. Now, once we've seen how this thing actually develops, once we've seen how this disease spreads and all that, apex within 21 days. Okay, it's a massive change. So yeah, it's gonna keep spreading the next couple of weeks. It's got a 2 to 14 day incubation period. So another fact that none of these Trump haters even know. It's got a 2 to 14 day incubation period. So if you get it, you might not show symptoms for 2 to 14 days. So at least two weeks of continuous, lots of new cases if nobody leaves the house. So 2 to 14 days, people are going to start showing up if they got it. We're going to start seeing the numbers go up. But then after that, if we keep the lockdown good, it's another week or so that those people need to stay home and recover, and the ones that get really bad go to the hospital, and the ones that are weak and go to the hospital die. If we just stick to that plan, we're going to see it's going to be like the stock market. We're going to take the elevator on the way down. So, yeah, we've kind of been taking the elevator on the way up. But you know why we've been taking the elevator on the way up? Yeah, it's been spreading, but we got testing. So we know everyone who's got it. People who are getting it, we're going to know about them. So, we're handling the situation pretty well in this country. And the stock market is lagging forward compared to the situation. So with that in mind, we should be at a bottom. Because the one thing we know is that this is going to be over. And the real rally is going to come when the curve begins to flatten. Once we hit that apex that Cuomo's talking about, which is in 21 days from now. So if you're afraid to buy right now, that's kind of what the boat most people are in. I'm not in that boat. I've been nibbling on the way down, as you've heard me say for the last couple weeks. And today was a good day to nibble. But I think Monday is going to present an even better day to nibble. And if you want to know who's actually nibbling hard, Jamie Dimon and his direct reports at JP Morgan, who are all buying JP Morgan stock today after hours, according to the report. And Jamie Dimon, CEO of JP Morgan, is buying $17 million worth of shares, okay? I think he sees some sort of bottom. So with that in mind, let's hope this gets dealt with quick. Wash your hands, pray, ask God to get rid of this issue, that he wants to remind us all of the things that we've been taking for granted. We were at a glut. We've had food and shelter and water and heat and resources and all that stuff out the wazoo. God wants to remind us that we must appreciate the simple things in life, like food, like family, like just yourself and himself. And the simple things in life. Stop living in a glut. Start appreciating life itself and the simple things in life. So with that, and with Jamie Dimon buying $17 million worth of JP Morgan stock and all his direct reports, additional to that $17 million, peace.